second in the conference. And Mizzou in search of its first SEC victory of the year under first-year head coach Kelly Harper tonight at Mizzou Arena. Opening tap controlled by the Tigers. Shannon Dowell's healthy. She had it, and now Mizzou goes to work.
Watch this Mizzou offense run through Grace Slaughter. She's a really highly skilled player, not the most athletic on the floor, excellent footwork, and just highly skilled offensively.
I've got a million questions to ask you how these teams are going to handle ball screen defense tonight. Timer down to 4. Tigers got to go. And the 3-ball off the mark by Abby Schrechter.
That 3-ball came off because of a ball screen right in the middle of the floor. We'll talk a little bit more about that defense.
I mean, we were talking earlier today, and you told me there were 6 different kinds of ball screen coverages, which absolutely blew my mind. A good look inside for Naomi Jones.
Well, it's probably light on the 6. There's probably about 10 different ways. There's all kinds of ways to guard that ball screen.
That's more than I ever thought about. Starting 5 for the Tigers. And Grace Slaughter, the leading scorer at over 18 points per. Abby Schreck's done a great job. 8 points per game, nearly 40% from 3. Tied with an early advantage, but without their second leading scorer in Essence Cody, the 6'4 junior out of Valdosta. And boy, she does so many things. And speaking of the screen game, she really is solidified her role there with the ball screens for Alabama offensively.
Yeah, this is it's a big loss for Alabama not having her on the floor and not having the depth of that 5-player on the floor also.
Slaughter inside ties it up at 2. And Cody out with a lower leg injury. It's not believed to be serious. Timmons, Weathers, Anna Collins, Tamia Scott, Naomi Jones in that starting 5 without Essence Cody.
You know, both of these teams, Roy, they run a lot of set plays. And so you saw both teams going through the scout today on how you want to guard off-ball screens, on-ball screens. See a lot of switching happening right now.
Timmons off the mark from distance. Open look top of the key, and the Tigers grab their first lead. Reisman.
Hey, that's what Dowell brings. Dowell brought penetration. She drew help, leaving Reisman right open at the top of the key, and she nails it. That's nice offense right there by Missouri. But you see Dowell was out. She missed several games here, but it's nice having her back for Missouri. She creates a lot of problems for a defense.
Question for you, how hard is it to bounce back after one of the most impressive wins in school history? On the road just a couple of days later, just mentally making sure that all boxes are checked.
Well, you know, I think for Christy Curry, she's been in some high-level games in her career because let's don't forget she was at Purdue for 7 years. Played in a national championship game, so she knows how to respond and react. She has some veteran leadership on this team also, so that helps them a lot. There you see Dowell with that drive. You see how she brought 2 to the ball, leaving a wide-open Reisman. Nice offense.
Dana Reisman connecting from downtown. An open look here again. I also feel like it's imperative for the Tigers to get off to a fast start tonight in search of that first SEC win and trying to do it against a top 25 foe. Slaughter got caught in traffic, turns it over.
Excellent defense by Alabama right there. Brought a lot of help to the ball.
Three minutes in, the lead is 3 for Mizzou. Layup off the mark from Collins.
She had a great look at the basket right there, but you got to be able to handle that momentum to the rim and also finish with that left hand. Not always easy for a righty.
Dowell thought about it. You mentioned her health now at full strength. That is critical. Head coach Kelly Harper's team. Off the bounce, Sotel. In and out. And poked away. There was contact. She'll pick up her first personal. First season for Kelly Harper at Mizzou, the longtime Tennessee point guard, national champion. Of course, head coach of the Lady Vols for a number of years before spending a year with us last year at SEC Network, and that was a ton of fun to get to know Coach a little bit.
Yeah, she said she really enjoyed her time behind the desk at SEC Network in the studio, but she was ready to get back in it. She was hungry to get back in it. Has a lot more to give to the game, and I think she'll do a great job here in Missouri. Signed a really good class in November.
It's a brand new roster for the most part with those 7 transfers of new freshmen and 5 returning players from last year. Another point-blank opportunity miss as Timmons got it back.
That's a hard way to get 2 points right there.
Tell me about it. Yeah, the good news for Kelly Harper, you don't lose any games when you are a TV analyst. Bad news is you don't win any. Now she gets the thrill of victory here in Como again.
But what, boy, they didn't do her any favors with this top 4 schedule, this top 10 schedule to start SEC play, though.
No, they did not. Tamia Scott on the move. There was some contact. And the Crimson Tide will go to the free throw line. Well, think about this. Mizzou now wrapping up, to your point, Coach, a stretch facing ranked foes 4 straight nights. So this is their 4th and final game of that stretch. And wrap up the season, the schedule gets pretty difficult, too. But, you know, we could talk to Vic Schaefer about that a little bit. He had some words yesterday after Texas was upset by LSU in Baton Rouge. You're going to go through stretches no matter who you are in this league where it's going to be tough, and you're going to have a run of games against teams that are likely ranked in the top 10, top 15, top 25, what have you.
That, you said it perfectly. You're going to have a run of games against top 10 teams in this league. It's going to happen all during this season. So it's early. You can't start talking about that because another one's coming at you.
So you don't have to worry about that anymore. You
No.
coached for all those years, so you're now with us. You're on the right side of the table.
I win every night, Roy, every night.
Carly Weathers with a touch and the layup. Crimson Tide back in front.
I love how both of these teams really doing a good job attacking the rim. It's finishing at the rim that has been a little bit of a problem, but a nice finish by Weathers right there.
Tide started this game nearly 3 minutes down a bucket. Here's Slaughter on the move. Left-handed finish and a chance for 3 for numeral 0.
Slaughter, Grace Slaughter, I really like this player. She's highly skilled. You see, she's not the fastest player on the floor, the quickest, but she can kill you from the three-point line. She can take it off the bounce with really good footwork, and obviously finishing with a soft little touch at the basket.
That's the second foul on Jessica Timmons, so she's going to have an extended break on the Crimson Tide bench.
That's a tough loss right there for Alabama, for Timmons to be on the bench this early in the game. But in comes freshman Ace Austin, who is really a fun little player to watch.
Maybe the best basketball name in the SEC, too, right? It sounds like you're a standout guard for a team like Alabama, ranked in the top 25, and her best ball clearly ahead of her, only a freshman.
Of course she's going to have a name, Ace. Both of her parents are basketball coaches, so they knew exactly what to call her.
Ace on one end, Grace on the other. And back-to-back buckets, Mizzou back in front. I mean, if both mom and dad are basketball coaches, you are destined to be a player, right? You have no choice.
No choice.
Here's Tamia Scott. Nice first step in the delivery.
Well, Missouri's going to have to find a way to really stop this Alabama ball screen penetration. Not ball screen, just ball penetration. They are really doing a good job attacking that rim.
Tied at 9. Grace Slaughter with 6 on Mizzou's 9 points. And a turnover as Schreck was unable to haul it in near the baseline. Check that, the sideline. Timeout as we step aside at Como.
Look, Grace Slaughter, some kids wow you with their athleticism and speed and quickness. Grace Slaughter will wow you with her skill. She has great footwork. She's got great instincts on where the basket is and what do I need to do to score. This is what I like. She has grown her game every year. Look, 11 points, 15 points. Now she's 18 points this season. She's a highly efficient three-point shooter, 39%. I'll take that. I'll take that anytime. But this is a player that Missouri really needs playing well in order to have a shot tonight.
And she decided to come back, right? That's a big deal through the coaching change. And Kelly Harper, I didn't even know that there was a re-recruitment involved because she wanted to play her college ball here. But give her a ton of credit, and then to develop, and the point production continues to be on the up and up.
That's right. You know, she's a Missouri kid, and I think that this school is so important to so many young people who grow up in this state. They want to come here and represent their state right here at the University of Missouri, and she's doing a really great job of that.
Tigers at 12-6 on the season in search of their first conference victory tonight for Kelly Harper. Of course, Coach Harper won 3 national championships. Not 1, not 2. But 3 with the Lady Vols in the late 1990s. Under Pat Summitt. And it was great to talk to her today. As we're right in the middle of We Back Pat Week and hearing her stories on the floor, away from the court, and what Coach meant to her. Maybe my favorite line of the entire year. She said, Roy, Coach Summitt would sit me down before a game, and if she told me the sky is purple, that was going to be my message to our team. The sky is purple. Ladies, let's go win this one. And, of course, they did win at an unprecedented clip with those 3 national titles. But she said, if she told me that, that's what I believe. That was their relationship between head coach and starting point guard for a team that was so elite.
She was the perfect point guard for Pat Summitt. I mean, she won 3 national championships. Now, she played with some excellent players. You remember Shamika Holtzclaw, Tamika Catchings, Samika Randall. You had some really nice players on that team, but Kelly was the leader of that group. Look, Pat, she probably took the wrath of Pat many times over, you know, for something Shamika did. But Kelly was perfect. She could handle it. She was tough as nails and paid off for Tennessee.
Another thing she told us today, too, was, I'm just glad we are saying her name in a week like this to remind folks of all that she meant to the game. And that went much deeper than all the success that was on the floor.
Well, no doubt. We all hate how we lost Pat to the terrible disease of Alzheimer's, but we are talking about her and the wonderful things she did for the sport of women's basketball.
Collins. And inside, a tough finish. Lancia Ramsey.
Oh, what a pickup right there for Alabama. Ramsey's tough inside. She's a little undersized, but does not matter. She's tough as nails in there.
She's brought some grit to this program from Coastal Carolina. All teams able to fill out their rosters in 2026 via the transfer portal. It's amazing the changes we've seen. Slaughter, no, that was a nifty move. Crimson Tide by 4. Weathers from downtown, make it 7.
You know what was so good about this shot? I love it. I love a 3 in transition. You're in rhythm. But she had thoughts of reversing that ball because she likes to move the ball. Carly Weathers is a very unselfish player. But when they jumped off of her, she was like, okay. It's like the doors opened up and she let it fly.
Tide now in the midst of a 9-0 run. Carly Weathers, the nursing student, has never made a B in her academic career. Off the pump fake, here's Smith, Jayla Smith. Ramsey controls the rebound. Well, the other thing I always hear from coaches in terms of shooting the 3, get that transition 3 or the 3 off an offensive rebound. It seems like that's the money shot.
It is. An offensive rebound, kick out, and you reverse that ball quickly. You have a wide open look at the 3. But you don't get that all the time.
How about the high-low there to Scott? Beautiful pass and the dime drop by Ramsey. Crimson Tide have made their last 4 field goals.
Look, Alabama doing a great job of, again, attacking the rim in a multitude of ways. That way, slipped a screen right there and had the wide open layup. So Alabama playing some good, smart basketball right here. You see coming off the ball screen, looks back. I mean, just a really nice read by Collins right there. And Alancia Ramsey really doing a good job. But again, here you go. You better guard Carly Weathers. This kid has ice in her veins. She's smart, and she can nail it. But I love the slip screen right there. That's smart basketball play. Those are things, that slip of the screen, we saw them working on that in shoot-around today, exactly like that, because Alabama's anticipating maybe a switch or maybe a step out.
Don't forget our SEC Network men's basketball doubleheader. Wednesday night, Otega Oweh, UK take on LSU down in Baton Rouge, up first at 7 Eastern. Then Darius Acuff, he's the top freshman in America right now, number 17 Arkansas, hosting South Carolina in Fayetteville. Both games also on the ESPN app. Hey, Darius Acuff, A.J. DeBonson, there's a handful. Darren Peterson, incredible freshman. The SEC, Acuff, chance maybe to be the player of the year. Great look out of the timeout. Jordana Reisma.
And you can't draw it up any better than that, because when you come out of that timeout, ATOs are so important.
Corner 3, no. That was Jennings off the mark. Opportunity here for the Tigers, and that's a traveling violation. It felt like Lisa Thompson just kind of had it stuck on her hip for a second. An extra step and a turnover.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because they had a good look. They had the floor balance. It was spread. She saw an open shooter on the weak side, but just couldn't quite get it there.
Are you enjoying the return to television? I've been meaning to ask you that on air because it feels like the yard. You showed up today in the best mood for an early shoot-around, a pair of shoot-arounds to get ready for this Monday night game. It felt like that you're right back home again.
I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's fun talking about the game of basketball. It's really fun talking to coaches.
And you're not doing that right now, too, what Coach Curry's doing.
Now, look, early in the morning, I'm not stressed. They're stressed. And so, I don't know, maybe you just kind of want to bring a little joy and just remind them that, hey, it's a basketball game. but it's hard to do when you're in the middle of it.
An extended conversation here. Christy Curry on the outskirts, and this veteran officiating crew with Natasha Cammey, Jeff Wooten, and Sarah Williams convening. And I believe we had a substitution issue where...
Can you hear me? Okay. Is it in the gym? Okay. Hi, after review, after discussion with the crew, we had 6 players on the floor from White. It'll be a technical on White. Red will get the ball in the backcourt, 2 shots to Alabama.
Well, that is a significant misstep. Ace Austin's going to shoot 2 free throws, and I can't tell you, Coach, that I've seen that one before.
I can tell you I have never seen that one before, and that's really interesting, walking off the court in the wrong spot. How about the confidence to let the freshman shoot the free throw? You know,
Ace Austin, an 87% free throw shooter, and was smooth to finish on 2 accounts there. And if it was Christy Curry that alerted these officials of what happened, that was heads-up maneuver on her part. You haven't seen it, and I haven't seen it. They were paying attention.
Look, it could have happened in my career, and I just never saw it. But she definitely saw it.
Tied up by 9 again. A great look in the post. Contact. And Naomi Jones hit the deck hard. She'll shoot 2.
Now, look, this is – the defense was on point. But you cannot expect a post player to front the post and be responsible to take away the shot. And that's where Missouri's mistake came in. So there was no help side there. If you're going to front the post, you better have somebody sitting in the paint for help side to do exactly what needed to be done, and that's take away the shot if they choose to lob it over the top.
Crimson Tide making honest living at the free throw line to start, 7 of 8. And that lead expands to 11. Now showing a little full court pressure.
The worst thing about that foul is Reismer picked up her second foul.
Jordana with 2. 2 on the Alabama side for Timmons. 3 ball off the mark by Dow. Tigers get it back in a fresh 20. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Shred from downtown, no. Impressive start for a team off of its highest ranked victory in the tenure of its head coach Christy Curry, and its highest ranked victory since 1997. 10-second differential between the clocks, poked out of bounds by Slaughter.
Well, they look to run that same play again, but Ace Austin's going to have to be careful because they did have help side in the paint that time. Missouri did. It's a danger. It's a chancy pass when you lob that high over the top. You've got to be really certain there's nobody waiting on, because you can easily pick up a charge.
Big weekend in the SEC, concluding yesterday. Some games to tell you about later in our show, and some updates, including the first loss of the season for Texas off a steal. Big possession for Mizzou. 5 seconds, and the runner, no. Poked out of bounds. It'll stay on this end with 2 seconds to go. Sotel had a path, pulled up short. Slaughter going to pull the 3. And the Alabama Crimson Tide with a 15-2 run to close down our first 10 minutes.
The way they're looking at their player, but trying to get their point across and teaching. It's not yelling and hammering somebody, it's teaching.
Weathers inside to begin our second quarter. The high-low action working to perfection for Alabama to start the lead. Swells to 13. Yeah, we told Kelly Harper about that image that we were going to show today, and she was, I didn't realize that the pointing of the finger was so similar. I said, Coach, it's identical.
Well, Kelly really grew up as a basketball player. She was a really good high school player, but under Pat's tutelage, just learned so much about the game and how to coach the game and how to teach the game. And it's paid off for her in her career.
Tigers get it back 30 seconds into our second quarter. Slaughter with position in the post. They'll send it outside to Jayla Smith. You spent a lot of time with Coach Summit, too, over the years, and you were telling us some of those stories and just learning from her on the court and also in a major way away from the game.
Well, Pat was so much about people. That was one of her strengths. She was a giver. As hard as she was, as disciplined she was, tough as a basketball coach, it was about people, not just on her team, in her life, as her friends. She was a giver in every way, and I was just fortunate to have learned a lot from her.
There was a toughness on the floor that was recognized, but you speak a lot about away from the game, and I don't want to say it's a different Coach Summit, but there were some differences that a lot of people maybe didn't see as much as you did.
Right, because Pat liked to have fun. I mean, you were going to have a good time if you were going out on the boat with Pat, or you were going down to Florida with Pat, or you were going to you were about to have some of the most fun times of your life. Boy, I miss that. That was good stuff. I can't tell you all the stories, Roy, so don't be picking me to tell you that.
I have 5 more questions we're going to get to at some point in this game. Timer down to 7. Crimson Tide leading by 13. Got to go here. Position for Ramsey. Check that Jones, and she was off the mark.
She got the ball in a good spot, just couldn't finish the shot. But look at her, she gets down the floor with the block at the rim.
Naomi Jones is down on the other end and in clear pain, drawing the attention of her head coach, Christy Curry.
Okay, she made a spectacular play. She misses the shot, sprints the floor, blocks the layup. But yes, she's down on the floor right now. Hopefully it's not anything serious and she gets back up, because right now Alabama's running a little thin in the in that 5-player spot.
Now there was contact with the body as Jones secured the rejection.
So she got it like kind of an inadvertent swat right there. But hopefully she can recover from that and get back on the floor.
So no Essex Cody in tonight's game. And Naomi Jones took a shot inadvertently on the bench as well. Tide leading by 15, their largest advantage in this one.
Well, the good thing about this right now, in Alabama's favor, is that Carly Weathers can play the 4 spot. So Christy Curry can go 4 guards on the floor. When she does, Weathers moves to the 4. She's very versatile in that respect.
Tide shooting 53%. Mizzou at 25 to start. And Alabama gets it back. Now Mizzou will get possession here.
Shooting percentages are kind of throwing us off right here, because the 3 ball's not falling for either one of these teams really very well tonight.
Now, you told me in the pregame that both these teams can shoot the 3. Slaughter.
Well, I did not lie. I was telling the truth. But it seems to be a little cold in the arena right now from behind the line.
It is warmer here in Columbia, though, warmer than I can remember in January coming to call a basketball game.
You're right.
We'll take that. The layup's good by Collins. She'll take that pathway.
Well, Missouri's got to figure out a way to stop this off the bounce and getting to the rim right now, because Alabama's doing that a little bit too easy.
Weathers got a fingertip on it, nearly tracked it down deep in the backcourt. Down. Slaughter couldn't handle it.
Alabama defense right there was on point. They peeled off in 2 different areas because Carly Weathers went for the steal. So really good job. Great teamwork defense by Alabama.
Timmons, the runner. There was some contact there. Remember, Timmons has the 2 early personals. No whistle that time.
Christy Curry choosing to trust Jessica Timmons right there to not pick up that 3rd foul. She's got to be really smart about how she defends.
Now the Crimson Tide living in the passing lanes, leading to easy buckets on the other end.
Right now, that's really good help defense. She had some drop rotation right there, and then Jessica Timmons finishing on the other end. This is why Alabama's defense is ranked what it is. They really do a good job communicating, rotating, switching out. They are on point with their communication. Defense is about communicating. You've got to be able to talk and trust your teammates to have your back.
Already 8 points off of turnovers, to your point, with those 4 steals. Broadcasting is about communicating too, right?
That's right. Thanks for that information.
Lead at 17.
Now, this is a player, De Silva Costa, a freshman who's got a really bright future. It's going to be interesting to watch her play right now. Got the high-low immediately. But
Point-blank opportunities, couldn't connect there.
has to work on that finish, and that's one of the hardest areas to really perfect as a freshman post player is the physicality at the rim and being able to finish through that, because you're just not always going to get the call.
Crossover by Scott to spin. All but the finish and a foul. Did they get Silva Costa on that?
We've seen a lot of misses at the rim tonight, and that's, I'm sure, concerning a little bit for Christy Curry, but she's had to move people in and out of her lineup because of foul trouble, injury. But De Silva Costa getting this kind of experience is really important for the long haul for Alabama through this SEC season.
She played in all but one game before tonight. Limited minutes with Cody and Jones. And a foul the other way. It's going to go on Collins.
I'm going to tell you, that call right there just drove me crazy as a coach. Diana Collins hands off the ball, and then she's running to the corner, and they call her for a moving screen. And it's just a frustrating call. And I'm sure Christy Curry's giving him an earful, because it's just it's like one of those things that just kind of happens. She didn't intentionally go screen. So we're going to get to look at it. So, well, she might have stopped and gave a little hip right there.
It's a hip check. That's a personal foul.
Maybe a little bit. I just didn't see it from where I'm sitting.
Tied now, 21-4 run. Create this separation. Big step for Slaughter, and she connects. She's got 10.
Really nice move, that long step around De Silva Costa for the layup. You got to keep your feet moving if you're the post player defending her and stay in between her and the basket.
Alabama 2-1 in the SEC. In search of a road win. So hard to come by. You talk to coaches in the conference. No easy nights. No nights off. No matter who you're playing or where the game is. That was Scott off the mark from distance. Shrek. That's a three.
Oh, what a beautiful shot by Abby Streck right there. They drew some defense. She got a little bit of daylight to get that shot off, just enough to get that three off.
Wide open look, Weathers. Silva Costa unable to finish again. Big possession now for Mizzou, trying to get it back to a 10 or a 9-point lead. Vincent comes up short. Alabama does not get sped up, finding a way to get shots in the paint.
The one thing they have to be careful with if you're Alabama is not forcing a shot. That's just not there. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that, just the frustration on some shots not going in right now, but it's the force of a shot.
Lead is 12, 3:39 to go in the half. Only at 12, about 3.5 minutes to go. And you take a look at the updated top 8 in the SEC. Alabama in 7th place currently with that 2-1 mark, but coming off the impressive win against Kentucky, ranked in the top 10 last week.
Roy, don't get comfortable with those standings, because that deck's going to shuffle real soon. That is not going to stay like that. This conference is so tough that it's just nobody's going to be undefeated by the end of this conference season. There's going to be some losses. There's going to be more. It's just craziness. But I've said this for a while now this season. The floor is incredibly high in the SEC. And that's why the deck will shuffle a lot, because there's no sure thing win. I don't care if you're at home, on the road. I don't care who you're playing. It's just tough to win in this league.
After the foul committed by Collins, Dow at the free throw line. I think LSU back there at number 8 is the one that stands out. And they had the win against Texas and Baton Rouge yesterday. That really got everybody in the conference talking. And we'll see what that means for Flau'jae Johnson and Mylasia Fulwiley and Coach Mulkey. They're going to have something to say about how all of this unfolds, as will Michaela Blakes, Joyce Edwards, and the crew currently at the top. Meanwhile, this lead down to 10. It was 15 a few minutes ago.
Yeah, again, Missouri kind of finding their way right now. Scoring other than Grace Slaughter. Steffi mentioned that in the studio show when Shrek hit the 3. They've got to have other players besides Grace Slaughter scoring the basketball. And how many misses, easy layups that we've missed that Alabama has missed that has slowed down their score.
A 10-0 run for the Tigers. They're right back in at 30-23.
With a good 3-ball shooting team, you're never out of the game. I don't care if you're down 20. If you find that 3-ball range, then you have a shot to get yourself back in the game, and that's what Missouri's done. Tigers
shooting nearly 38% from distance this season. 3 for 9 to start tonight. And that lead, which was 117, has now been sliced to 7.
Got to get out and guard three-point shooters. It does not matter if they started out slow, Missouri, hitting from the 3. You cannot let a team warm up from the 3. Once they find their energy there, once they find their confidence there, it's really hard to slow them down.
Sotel now with 3 personals. She'll get a breather for the rest of this half in all likelihood. Tamia Scott. Alabama once led in this one, 30-13. A different story since. Ace Austin. Boy, for a freshman, she plays like an experienced senior.
She went against Grace Slaughter on that drive right there. She knew she could take her off the bounce, but really impressed with. Now, Alabama's not hitting every layup, but they are attacking the rim pretty much every time down the floor.
Austin, the 2-time Miss Alabama Basketball Player of the Year. 10 on the timer, 2:07 and a half. Will stay with Mizzou. First time that's ever happened in the history of Alabama high school basketball for a player like Ace Austin. She has come off the bench. She began her career in Tuscaloosa. Slaughter off the hesitation. Big step in traffic. She's got 15.
We talked about footwork at the beginning of this game, and you just saw some really high-level footwork by Grace Slaughter to finish that shot.
Early Weathers, no. And the rebound controlled by Sanaya Taylor. Check that Tyler. She just checked in. With the bounce, Shannon Dow.
Difference-making guard for this Missouri team. When she's not on the floor, they don't have that speed and quickness that can take people off the bounce. Dow, definitely a difference maker for Missouri.
Great to see Naomi Jones back on the floor. In and out. And a tie-up. The arrow favors Mizzou.
You know, for Missouri, this is really great shot fake, but look at that's beautiful footwork. That is textbook footwork right there by Grace Slaughter. And a strong, strong finish by Dow. Did you see her protect the ball when she went to take it up in the air? Really smart play right there.
Well, you mentioned the footwork. It was incredible that Slaughter didn't bring that left foot down to be whistled for traveling before the ball was released for the layup.
No, that's a move you get in the gym and you work on that during, her entirety of her career. I'm sure she shot that shot many a time.
The Euro now with 17. It's a one-possession game. So Alabama ends the first quarter on a 15-2 run. Mizzou has answered that run with a 16-2 advantage at the end of the second quarter. We got a game. Weathers thought about it. Shot clock at 5. Bounce pass, reverse, no. Ramsey off the mark. It's been a tale of 2 quarters to start in Columbia.
You know, you see Missouri playing with a lot of confidence right now. They've got a lot of energy, and Alabama struggling. They've got foul trouble, and they've had to play with some different lineups than they're used to playing. And it's kind of slowed down their offensive chemistry.
32-29, shot clock is off. Here goes Ace Austin. The pivot, the rejection, and Alabama will end the first half. 1 for its last 14 from the floor.
Foul trouble. That's what they're going to talk about if you're Alabama. Second quarter.
It's a big game for both sides. Mizzou in search of that early signature win in league play. Its first conference win. And Alabama trying to keep the mojo going after that impressive victory over number 6 Kentucky on Thursday in Tuscaloosa. Crimson Tide having to start our third quarter. Hesitation in the paint. Whip it outside to Timmons. That's a three.
It's a really nice way to start the half for Alabama, but Missouri's defense pretty good until the very end. They were switching screens. They were being able to cover up shots, but not a quick enough rotation at the end of that play.
That's frustrating as a coach, right? When you get a team that plays defense for 28 seconds and then you give up the open look from downtown. Off the Tigers' miss. Here's Timmons again. Thought about it. Attacking the left side of the paint. Here's Tamia Scott. Back to Timmons from the wing. Well, that's a shot she's going to make more times than not.
Well, it is, and she felt it, and her teammates knew where she was. They could have reversed the ball to the other side, but they knew where Timmons was. They wanted to get it back to her.
Down gets the bounce, 35-31. The Illinois transfer. Seen her as a point guard at times this year for head coach Kelly Harper. Shannon Down now a junior from Illinois. Weathers will feed the post. That's been a problem for the Tide so far. And another miss by Jones inside, and she's in pain. And holding her right arm the other end of the court. 5-on-4. Reisma comes up short, and they'll finally blow the whistle. Remember, Jones took a shot in the face early in the second quarter, and now injured inside to begin the second half.
Well, it's been a really tough game for Jones. She's getting it all over the body right now.
And without Essence Cody, now you made the point during halftime, even as we came back out of that halftime break, it's Cody on both ends of the floor. Part of it, Grace Slaughter having to defend her. And then the other part, Slaughter being defended by Cody and what she brings to the table with her size as Carly Weathers connects.
Well, Carly Weathers might need to get a few more looks inside, playing as a 4-player right now. Get her a little bit closer to the basket to challenge the Missouri defense. But back to Essence Cody not being on the floor. Roy, it's not a simple thing just to take a player out of your starting lineup. There's this rhythm that comes with being a starter. And when you disrupt that rhythm, now the offense has to get used to playing with a different 5. And it's difficult. But the biggest thing today is Slaughter not having to score against Essence Cody at 6'4", and Slaughter not having to guard 6'4" Essence Cody on the other end of the floor.
Second leading scorer and rebounder. Reisman just picked up her third. She'll pick up the rebound off the miss. And a bump by Collins, right side of the paint. So Diana Collins now has 3 fouls.
You know, you see there's the help side defense isn't really on point right now for Alabama because a straight line drive to the basket should be help from the backside. Diana Collins shouldn't have to pick up a foul right there to stop the ball.
Schreck off the bounce against Weathers. Three-pointer's going to be rejected by Tamia Scott. Sotel got it back. Now no. Offensive rebound, a fresh 20. Contact. 2 free throws coming. And Jordana Reisma working hard inside, right underneath the rim.
That's a frustration foul by Jessica Timmons right there, and it was unnecessary. She gave up the offensive board. Don't turn around and make the second mistake by fouling. You know, the one thing I think is the hardest thing to teach players is when you foul, you can't get that back. Now you've got 3 on your list, right? And now you can't get that back. So that's a tough one.
3 minutes into our third quarter. Reisma off the mark. Tide bring it back the other way. A 5-point lead. You can feel momentum teetering to begin the third quarter. Who wants it for keeps? They're the runner. Silky smooth off glass from Timmons.
Tough finish right there by Timmons also. under a lot of pressure, but got past the defense, and then a really soft touch on the layup.
And now she's got 9 points all of a sudden. Slaughter down low. Gets the roll on the layup. Grace Slaughter with 19.
Well, that's a beautiful finish. She knew she's going against Carly Weathers right there. She's got this probably a little bit of strength over Carly. But I'm really impressed that Carly did not foul. You don't want to give them 3. Just give her the 2, not the free throw.
Slaughter playing like an all-SEC kind of player tonight. Her team needs her the most. Timmons, the sweeping runner. And a late whistle. There was a lot of contact between her and Abby Schreck. Free throws coming now for the Crimson Tide in Alabama. The charity stripe tonight, 7 of 8. Missouri, just 3 of 5. Christy Curry encouraging her team off to its best start in school history this season. 16-1. Our SEC Network Wednesday men's basketball doubleheader. Otega Oway in Kentucky take on LSU up first at 7 Eastern. And then top 20 Arkansas hosting South Carolina. Bud Walton Arena, the place to be. Both games also on the ESPN app.
Hey, this game is physical. You get driven onto the basket. Schreck just got slapped right across the face, but you got to be ready to take some contact and be a big girl about it. You can't be soft defensively in this league.
Well, she got smacked across the face and got called for the foul.
Yeah, that's a double whammy right there, isn't it?
It doesn't feel good in the film room the next day either. Open look for Lisa Thompson. Thompson drains the 3. Just her 5th made 3 ball this season.
Well, look, she was too wide open on that one. There's got to be better, quicker rotation or better, quicker recovery on that skip. You've got to be able to contest all these 3-point shots because you don't want to get the home team heated up from that 3-point line.
Here's Tamia Scott. Back to the basket. Pump fake spin. Missed it off the drop step. Fresh 20 on the offensive rebound. Now it's Weathers. You mentioned you want to see more of 22 in Crimson. That's why.
Yeah, I think Alabama's going to have to go to her more because she's the one who's got the experience. She's a very high IQ basketball player. You're not going to see her make a lot of mistakes or take bad shots.
We talked with her today about her work in the classroom, her work on the basketball floor. And one of the questions we posed to Carly Weathers, where does that internal motivation come from? She said, it's my faith. And I live it every single day as we step aside in Columbia.
Who's at home to Ole Miss, and then they go on the road and lose to Kentucky. But don't sweat it too much. They'll be back in the hunt. And that's a really good Oklahoma team.
Against the zone, that's a 3. So here comes Jayla Smith, and Mizzou pulls within a bucket again.
Got to know where those 3-point shooters are. You cannot lose track of every one of them that are on the floor right here in Missouri's home court.
Well, Timmons and Weathers have scored all 11 Alabama second half points. And right on cue, Tamia Scott says, here I am. Lead back to 6. Alabama switched to a zone on that last possession. Show a little bit of that again. Switching everything near the top of the key. And a bump from behind, that'll go on Ramsey. Well, you told me, Coach, that the threes would be falling tonight. We're starting to see some of that. Yeah,
a little bit more, it feels like, in the second half than in the first. But right here, great skip pass. You got to sprint out and sprint through a 3-point shooter right here when they're skipping the ball like this. You cannot hold up. There's no shuffling feet. You got to go all the way to them, make them put it on the floor and take a 2.
Smith inside, gets it to Reisman with the 3 fouls operating. No. Timmons rips away the rebound. All of a sudden, you feel this game start to find a little bit of a flow. Weathers from downtown. And a 3-pointer is good. Count the bucket. There's a foul inside. And did they get that on Weathers? Christy Curry wants to know. 49-40. Basket is good. Oh, Reisman, there's an elbow there. One of the officials signaled 22. Instead, it's against Mizzou. And a chance for a 5-point possession. That's exactly what we have. Well, Timmons with a mid-range.
That's a huge swing right there for Alabama in their favor. That foul off of that 3-point shot, that's costly right there for Missouri.
And the lead, just like that, back to double digits. Missouri answers right back with Abby Schreck.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why Alabama is playing so far off of three-point shooters and kind of sagging in to cover up the elbows. Why? You've got to get out there and contest these threes.
Ace Austin back on the floor, the talented freshman operating in the paint and delivering.
That's a confident shot right there by the freshman. She drove in there and took it like she was a senior.
At what point do the freshmen not like being called freshman, Coach?
Probably right now. After Christmas, I think that's it. I think that's kind of the thing. You're no longer a freshman anymore.
Here's Slaughter, picked up by Ramsey. Off the double team. Dow gets it back in attack mode. And Scott an impressive rebound. First miss in Alabama, last 5 shots. Heat check, Schreck from 27.
That might be my favorite heat check of all heat checks. When players feel that, they are stepping into their shot on the catch and transition. I love that shot.
Slaughter with 19, Schreck now with 9, 3 of 5 from behind the three-point arc. Here's Weathers. Aaron shot out of bounds back to Mizzou. Coach, this has been a game of runs, but you love this shot here.
Yeah, this is beautiful. It's perfect. This is exactly what you want a good three-point shooter to do. You are in rhythm. Do not stop. Don't hesitate. Don't sniff. Don't smell. Don't do anything but shoot the ball.
I had to check my nose to make sure everything was good right there. Mizzou, by the way, now 7 of 16 from deep. And Christy Curry doesn't like how that's developing with that trend in this quarter.
Yeah, Alabama's going to have to really get outside of that three-point line and contest and force, just force the two. It's so destructive to your defense when you're giving up threes. It gets to your confidence. It's just disruptive to your rhythm defensively.
91 seconds to go in our third quarter. Crimson Tide have led by as many as 17 tonight, including an 11-point advantage just 2 minutes ago, and a steal was ripped away by Weathers. That's what she does.
Yeah, that's what she does. She leads this team in steals. She had 7 against Kentucky in that win. Also important.
Feed the post, poked away. Who wants it? A scrum. Arrow favors the Tigers. Boy, a big final 58 seconds here at the end of the quarter with a 7-point game, and you feel like, Coach, it could go either direction.
Yeah, and it really could. Right now, no Dinah Collins wishes she had that back, that turnover back. She just kind of tossed it up there and hoped that Naomi Jones could grab it. But right now, Missouri's they've got the momentum right now. Even though they're down in this ball game, it feels like they've got the momentum.
That was just the second turnover in this game for Alabama. Thompson, her second 3-ball tonight, her 6th of the season. Some unexpected offense.
Look, she didn't hesitate. She had a hand in the face on that one. She's feeling very confident right now.
7-second differential between game and shot clock. Lead down to 4. Back to the basket, Ramsey now. Vincent clears. Tigers can play for the final possession of the third. Boy, smart decision there. It felt like Mariah Vincent was maybe going to take off.
Well, it felt like the whole crowd was yelling, hold it up, hold it up. Almost like they did the coaching.
Hey, we got good coaches here at Mizzou. Thompson feeling it. Thompson. Boy, Vincent wanted her to shoot. She's had the hot hand. The Tigers close the third quarter in strong fashion. Third quarter, Missouri 5 of 8 from deep. Alabama 3 of 6 after a cold start from behind the three-point arc. Nell Fortner, Roy Philpott, glad you could join us. Monday Night Tilt in the SEC, only game in town this evening.
That little zone defense by Missouri right here, trying to change some things up against Alabama.
Weathers outside to Scott, a monster spin, no. Tap to Slaughter. Grace Slaughter, 19 points, 8 rebounds tonight. Now the other way. Boy, both teams have missed some point-blank opportunities.
A lot. They really have a lot. I can see both these coaches going back and really working on finishes at the rim.
Slaughter, the rejection. And Karem's out of bounds. It'll stay with Alabama.
You know, Slaughter is an aggressive defender, a strong defender, and has no fouls tonight. So that's really being smart about how you're contesting shots and how you're defending moves to the basket.
There was a fan right beside us waving a burrito in our face for about 5 seconds there. I thought she was trying to give it to us.
Are you hungry? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm starting to get hungry after seeing that. Lead at 4, inside, a chance for 3 more. Carly Weathers.
What a strong finish right there. Just an extremely strong finish by Carly Weathers. And this is the player. She's a senior. She knows how to win ball games, especially the one against Kentucky. But she's got to bring everything she's got right now and lead this team through this tough shooting moment.
It's a 4th foul on Sotel. Weathers now with 16 points. Jones checks out, Ramsey back in. But credit Naomi Jones for being on the floor, sustaining 2 brief injuries. One, a shot in the face in the first half. The other appeared to be on the right elbow or bicep in our 3rd quarter. And the foul starting to mount up. Sotel with 4, Reisma with 4.
Yeah, really good defense right here by Alabama. They've really picked up the tempo.
Weathers attempting to steal right in front of Slaughter, picks up the infraction instead.
And that was really unfortunate because, boy, Alabama was switching screens. They were really denying hard, really making out Missouri run their offense way outside the 3-point line. That foul just got them out of trouble there at the end.
Scott nearly stole it. Sotel hauled it in at the last minute. Chloe operating outside the arc. Backdoor cut, Slaughter. The hesitation. Great box out by Ramsey.
A great help side by Alabama, creating a tough shot for Slaughter.
Alabama's just kind of kept Missouri at arm's length since jumping out to that 17-point first quarter lead. Weathers, yes!
A beautiful move by Carly Weathers.
19 points for Weathers. And a foul on the other end. Well, how about the unexpected offense of Lisa Thompson? The 2 threes in the 3rd quarter, draws the contact there, Coach.
Yeah, Thompson really has been impressive today. But I'd love to go back and see the shot by Weathers because that was a big-time move. Carly Weathers' layup on the other end. This is where Alabama's got to find their momentum. Hey, let's score down here and let's make stops down here and not foul. And right now it's keeping Missouri in the game. Hey, kudos to Missouri because they keep attacking Alabama's defense. But Alabama's got to find some rhythm here where they're not giving up these free throws or easy shots to Missouri.
Now Carly has 12 over 19 in our second half tonight.
Yeah, just a really nice ball handling move right there by Carly Weathers. You know, that behind the back and come back, that's what those trainers love to see. Her trainers in the stands, or he's watching this at home. He's like, yeah, I taught her that move. They love to see that stuff.
Oh, Thompson cuts that lead down to 8. Ace Austin back on the floor. You got Austin and Weathers trotting into the forecourt. Timmons to Scott. She'll draw Schreck. No worries for 15. Tamia Scott, the runner.
Yeah, really nice. You feel Alabama getting that offensive rhythm right here. Again, it's the other end of the defensive end of the floor.
Oh, Thompson turned it over, falling out of bounds. 2-on-2 the other way. And Weathers will slow it up. Well, you loved that right there, didn't you?
Well, I do, because right now Alabama's got to be smart about how quickly they give the ball back to Missouri as this 4th quarter runs down.
Scott, short, gets it back. Scott, rejected. And she touched it last. Now Missouri hanging on here, down 10.
Great hustle play by Missouri, getting their hand on that ball, creating that ball coming back to them right there. But back to the point about good decision by Carly Weathers. It's 4th quarter, 7 minutes and 27 seconds. Possessions become very important here. How quickly you give the ball back to your opponent. You don't want to give them a ton of possessions. In this 4th quarter, you've got a 10-point lead. So every time Missouri gets the ball, they've either drawn a foul down here. I mean, they're getting shots at the basket or drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line.
And now you can feel Christy Curry just trying to buy a couple of minutes here and there with her bigs, whether it's Jones, whether it's Ramsey. Without Essence Cody tonight on both ends of the court, obviously, it's been kind of a patchwork approach. And so far, so good. Been rough around the edges at times and a work in progress. But it's been just enough. It'll stay with Mizzou here.
Really good job by Naomi Jones right there. She blocks the shot. Even though Missouri retains possession, they did not get a shot on the basket. But if Jones can rebound, if Jones can defend hard, then she's doing her job. She can't get caught up in the missed shots or anything like that. She's got to defend really hard.
There's Cody, second leading rebounder, second leading scorer. Out tonight with that lower body injury.
They miss her. She's been a difference not having her on the floor.
Tigers will whip it outside. 10 on the timer, Smith. Open look for Sotel, no. She'll get it back. And a full head of steam. Mia Scott, they called for the foul for the Crimson Tide.
Three-point shot, long rebound. No Alabama player there to get it.
And Coach Crimson Tide now with 4 fouls in the quarter. And that certainly could be an avenue for Mizzou to try to exploit down the stretch, getting to the free throw line with the clock stopped.
No question about it, and that's exactly how they would want to score a lot, stopping that clock.
Strong move by Slaughter in traffic, couldn't finish it. Austin outside to Weathers. And Weathers, a crafty maneuver to get right underneath the rim. There's the foul.
You know, her game has really grown. She's put the time in. She's paid her dues, I guess you would say, because as a freshman, she comes in. You know, you don't get a lot of playing time. You're sitting behind somebody. And in this age of instant gratification, Carly Weathers has really is a great example of just, hey, just work. Just keep coming to work every day. Keep learning from your upperclassmen. It's going to pay off for you, and it's definitely paying off for her senior year.
21 points tonight. Meanwhile, Mizzou without a field goal since the very end of the third quarter. And Alabama outscoring the Tigers here on their home court 9-1 to begin our fourth. Lead back to 12, and that'll change quickly with Grace Slaughter.
I really like that offense right there by Missouri because they're trying to take advantage of posting up Carly Weathers, Grace Slaughter against Weathers. There's a bit of a mismatch there, not necessarily in size as much, but in maybe strength right there. Slaughter went to work.
Austin outside to Weathers. She's had the hot hand in the second. Lob inside, beautifully executed. Jones off the mark, puts it back up and in.
No help side at all, and Weathers recognizes that and is able to make that lob. Jones rebounded her miss. She's just got to stay confident.
Slaughter had position against Weathers. Great matchup inside. And Dowell.
Really nice move by Dowell going against Ace Austin. And I thought Ace really played good defense right there, but boy, Dowell's strong.
Dowell's had her moments, 8 points this evening. Slaughter with 21. Weathers now with 23, and that's a season high.
She makes that elbow shot look like a layup. It's just so smooth.
Well, she was so confident in our conversations with her earlier today. We talked about her faith and how she leans on that through thick and thin.
Yeah, she just was joyful. Maybe joyful about the game of basketball. But pleasant conversation.
Scott. And a foul leads us to the under 5 timeout. 66-54. The Carly Weathers show on full display tonight.
Drive in the lane. Have you seen her force a shot tonight? She just doesn't do it. She's a very high IQ basketball player, but I really love the fact that she leads her team in assists. She's not the point guard, But that's very impressive, and it's not easy to do when you've got a really good point guard who could do that also, who's a very good assist guard. So, but Carly is just, I'm sure she's a joy to coach for Christy Curry. And I don't know, maybe me and you hope she's a nurse when we have to go to the doctor one day, because she's going to be a joyful nurse.
Coach Curry said she hadn't made a B in her life. That's all I need to know. So you know that she knows everything that there is to know in that department.
Well, are you saying you made a B in your life?
I made more than one B and a couple other letters we won't talk about. Reisman will get one more. You can only imagine the conversation between Christy Curry and Carly Weathers. They draw off the Southern accent, and between those two and the two of us, we could have quite a conversation, many would think.
Yeah, I would love to hear a conversation between those two, because it is a heavy, strong Southern accent.
And we can talk about it because we also possess that at times.
Yeah, every now and then it comes out.
That's right, y'all. Weathers back on the floor on cue. Oh, Christy Curry, what an incredible job. I mean, you think about the talent loss from last year's team and the 3 players that ended up in the WNBA now, one playing overseas, Zay Green, and to rebuild and reconstruct as quickly as they have. And we asked Carly today, can this team be better than last year's club that was a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament? And she hesitated for a second out of respect for last year's squad. But in her heart of hearts, I think she believes the answer is yes. And that's saying something with the talent that was lost.
There's no doubt. And so much of this year's success for Alabama is another 3 go down for Alabama. But, chemistry is just as important, or maybe more so, than just your talented team. Because a team that believes in each other and will will their way over an opponent is incredibly important.
3 by Timmons, empty possession for Mizzou on the other end. And the lead back to 13, and Alabama trying to seize control. Open look. That's Scott from downtown.
What a great extra pass by Jessica Timmons. She could have shot the 3, but she had a better looking 3 in the corner.
And Alabama now 6 of 15 from deep. That's 40%. And at the end of the night, both teams shooting over their average from behind the three-point arc. And a foul against Bama. It'll stay with Mizzou on this end of the court. Well, Timmons didn't like it.
Well, that's unfortunate for Alabama. We had Ramsey. Got a little extra physicality in at the end of that play. Got called for it.
Coach, what is it like end of a game like this? Lead at 16. It's not insurmountable by any stretch, but you feel like Alabama and Christy Curry have it in control, at least. As a coach, what are you trying to execute and trying to keep your team to stay sharp with in late moments in an outcome which not decided all the way but could be shortly?
You probably coach harder as a coach during these last 3 minutes because of just exactly what you said. You're up by 16. You're on the road. You cannot let the foot off the gas. You just can't do it.
In the passing lane again. It'll be Tamia Scott, coast to coast.
You've heard this a million times. It ain't over till it's over. The hay is... You've heard this a million times. It ain't over till it's over. The hay is not in the barn with 2:45 left, and you've got to stay locked in and committed to both ends of the floor when you're running your offense.
Speaking of running the offense, Alabama just those 2 turnovers. It's the lowest total in 2 seasons for the Crimson Tide. So very efficient even when the shots weren't falling. It's number 3. That is what we call the announcer jinx.
That you did it.
I'm blaming that on Sam, our statistician. That was Sam's fault. He gave it to me.
And that's Sam's turnover right there.
That's a turnover on the statistician.
But that couldn't have been timed any more perfectly than as you were saying.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
Welcome to my life. They say there's no jinx.
Yeah, that's a skill. I don't know. That could be a skill, Roy, that you have.
It's not a skill. I think any of our viewers and listeners would argue it's not a skill. It's annoying.
Well, I hope it's not a skill I pick up from you, so I'm going to stay away from that one.
But I tell fans all the time, if you want something to happen, just tell me to say the opposite, and we can make that happen.
Okay, I'm going to remember that.
That's right. One more for Dow. Kelly Harper, her team, 12 wins this season. Verge of falling to 0-4 in league play. The league is unforgiving in 2026.
Well,
we showed you the list of the top 8 in the standings. And, I mean, Coach, any one of those teams, a run to the second weekend of the tournament, in contention to win the SEC. And look, that's the beauty of it. We don't know who's going to emerge from the pack this season.
You're exactly right. And there's about 4 or 5 more teams down below the 8th eighth-place team in the SEC that could make a run into the second week of the NCAA tournament. This is a super tough league.
Can I ask you who your
No.
top team is right now? Timmons, no. She agreed with you there. And unable to save it. It's Diana Collins.
That's a really interesting question, though, and it's a hard one to answer because you've just got so many good ones. Right now, Vanderbilt, how can you just not talk about them? You know, we could have done a whole show on Vanderbilt.
Michaela Blakes.
Oh, she's special.
Shea Ralph, the job she's done, too, not to interrupt you. 7th place in the current SEC standings. And you look up and down the conference, this is just the upper half, the upper crust, if you will. Crimson Tide, coach, 4 of their next 6 games are on the road. Give me your favorite team there, your biggest question also at the top of the league.
Yeah, I think, gosh, it's so tough. Look, I don't have a favorite team. I'm going to look at Vanderbilt. What a phenomenal job Shea Ralph has done with the Commodores. I mean, they are cooking right now. I think as they continue to play, they're going to the possibility of struggling with the inside, with the size of this league. Now, they did beat LSU, and they got some good size on that team, but night in and night out, dealing with the size in this league and the physicality is tough to do.
Crimson Tide's upcoming schedule for the next 6 on the road. You got the rivalry matchup with Auburn. Then the Lady Vols on Sunday. I think we all want to see and find out more about Kim Caldwell's team this year and what they could be capable of. Mississippi State and improved Georgia, and then the rematch, or rather the first meeting with LSU to start February.
And you look at that schedule like, oh my gosh, it's daunting. I mean, you're like, how in the world do you get through the gauntlet of this conference? And that is something that every team has to deal with.
The review as we went to break was the appeal by Christy Curry to challenge the ruling of it being Missouri basketball. And that original ruling was overturned. And so Alabama got the basketball back as a result. Didn't want to clean that up. No stone unturned by this staff in this current run. The best start in school history for Alabama this season. Even with a 14-point lead, a tumble. Timmons fell down. Mizzou gets it back with about a minute to go. I mean, there's been no let up, no letdown after the win against Kentucky tonight.
No, there hasn't. And we saw a bit of a letdown from Alabama in the second quarter tonight. But they regathered themselves at halftime. They came out looking like a little bit of a different team, more like Alabama has been playing as of late. And have done a good job of sharing the basketball, moving it around, and holding Missouri at bay.
Weathers with 23, missed the triple. And Mizzou with one more attempt at it, down 74-60.
You know, as Kelly Harper continues to build her program here, she signed 2 post players in the fall, and she's got to have some bigs in here because rebounding has been a little bit of a struggle for Missouri. Those second shot opportunities.
Abby Schreck. 16 seconds to go. Alabama going to call a timeout to bring in Ace Austin. Give her a chance to dribble this thing out. Shot clock off. Hey, every minute valuable. The 5'7" freshman, Ace Austin. She did a nice job tonight coming in off the bench. 8 points. A couple of fouls, but a dime, and did a reasonable job protecting the basketball, which was paramount for the Tide on the road. And Alabama securing an 11-point win tonight, 74-63. And now 4 straight wins for the Tide here in Columbia.
Well, we saw an impressive output by Grace Slaughter from Missouri, but just not enough to take over the